Hello there. I'm thinking of an aspect of the ascension that we don't focus on very much. We have this event that we were thinking about yesterday when those 40 days that Jesus spent coming and going with his followers after his resurrection, teaching them many things, preparing them for life without him. He knew that he was going to go to the Father, and those 40 days must have been amazing for the disciples. Different because they'd spent 3.5 years travelling around the place with him all the time, and he was rarely out of their sight. Occasionally he'd be up a mountain when they were on the boat or something, but most of the time he was with them. And then the return to heaven happened. We call it the ascension, recorded in Acts chapter 1. And then it was a full 10 days after that, on the Feast of Pentecost, that the Holy Spirit came. And today, like this morning, is the day after Ascension Day. And Jesus had said to them, and it's recorded in Acts 1, verse 4, while staying with them, while eating with them, it says, while staying with them, Jesus charged them not to depart from Jerusalem, but to wait for the promise of the Father, which he said, "You have heard from me. For John baptized with water, but before many days you will be baptized with the Holy Spirit." Just as an aside, if you are offended by the phrase baptized in the Holy Spirit, it's something Jesus very definitely said. He used that term, and John the Baptist used that term, "I baptize with water, he will baptize you with the Holy Spirit." So we have to be biblical in our conversation and in the words that we use. What we understand by it may be something different, but don't let the words upset you or offend you. But the thing I was thinking was, this incredible event has happened, or almost as incredible as the resurrection. Suddenly, while they're just talking to Jesus, he just starts to ascend. He just disappears up into heaven, and suddenly a cloud has engulfed him, and he's gone. Just like that. He's gone. He's gone. And so we come to the next day. And I don't know about you, but waiting for anything is really hard. It's really hard. Maybe Jesus did say to them, "It'll be 10 days, you'll have to wait till the day of Pentecost." But we don't have a record of Jesus saying when the Holy Spirit would come. We just have Jesus saying to them, wait in Jerusalem until the promise is sent. Wait. And of course we live in a world, don't we, where we don't very often have to wait long for anything. I don't know what it's like where you live, but here in the UK, very often if you order something from somewhere like Amazon, it comes the next day. Things are very quick. I mean, people complain about having to wait, but we don't have to wait. We used to wait for days or weeks for letters to arrive. Now we can send an email or a text message or a WhatsApp message and get a reply within seconds, minutes, if the person has looked at their email or whatever. The reply, and very often places have a sort of bounce back email that automatically comes and says, "We've received your email, we will attend to it as soon as we can." We have instant, almost instant response to things. And waiting is really hard. And I think it must have been really hard for the disciples, the apostles, to wait for 10 long days for the gift of the Holy Spirit to come. And they'd been told something of what it would be like, but they didn't know until it happened. And those 10 days. And I was thinking about waiting. You know, they were waiting expectantly because they knew there was a promise coming, and that promise would be fulfilled, just as every promise that has ever been made by God is fulfilled for us. And there's several verses probably you might think almost straight away of the verse in Isaiah 40 that says, those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. They will mount up on wings like eagles. That's at the end of Isaiah 40. But in Isaiah 64:4, there's another verse that says, from of old no one has heard or perceived by the ear, no eye has seen a God besides thee, who works for those who wait for him. Sometimes we have to wait. We have to wait. And waiting is not easy. But actually, when we wait for God to act, and we don't take it into our own hands to accomplish something, we think God's not going to get round to it, and he's busy, he's doing other things, he's off on a weekend break or something, and he's not picked up our request yet, so we'll do something to help him on his way. And we start engineering something to bring about the thing that we're waiting for. We have to be careful about doing something like that. Because waiting on the Lord is a very, now it's a passive thing, isn't it, waiting? But it's waiting with faith. It's an active kind of waiting, an expectant waiting. A bit like the waiting we are doing for Jesus to come back. In a way it's passive, but it's waiting in faith, knowing that that day when Jesus returns will come. It says it in Acts. He will return in a similar way to the way he's just gone. He will return. We are waiting for him to return. And because it goes on, it's gone on all my life I've been waiting for Jesus to return. And there's an argument that says, well, he's very unlikely to come today because he hasn't come any of the other days when I've been thinking he might come. But we need to keep that expectation up in ourselves, to live as if he might come today. As if God might answer your prayer today. Waiting expectantly is a statement of faith. It's an action of faith. It may look passive, but it's actually active waiting. We wait on the Lord to answer our prayers. We wait on the Lord to meet with us. We wait on the Lord to speak to us. We give him a chance. We wait. His timing is always going to be perfect. So we wait expectantly for him to act. That's Isaiah 64 verse 4. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.